Yesterday in the evening, I stood down in front of a mirror and I was trying to convince the guy looking back at me that we are in a bull or in a bear market. These conversations usually are very hard because we all want to believe something, and when we want to believe something, then it's pretty difficult to be objective. In these cases, we do need to analyze the evidences and we need to push down the emotional struggles and be as logical as possible. My name is Sabi, and I will tell you in a second what is the conclusion of this conversation. Before we start, obviously the usual, use a VPN. If you want to get in contact with me, Twitter, Discord, everything is in the description. Please help me triggering the YouTube algorithm, comment something, smash the like button if you like the content. It is truly appreciated and you help me a lot. We are at the Bitcoin price chart, and before I go into the conclusion of this certain conversation with myself, let's check the prices. Right now we are at the 42,000. As you can see, it whipped down to the 39,600s and we came right back. And obviously this is good news. But we can see that Bitcoin is struggling. On the 4-hour pattern, we can see that the MACD wants to close somehow and turn bullish. Now, some news again appeared which could help this big scare we had yesterday. But before that, we will check Ethereum as well, and Ethereum, as I said before, is following Bitcoin. Now it's at 2,950 and I am sure that it will break out as soon as Bitcoin will go up. But nowadays Ethereum has, let's say, a lot of quiet around itself, so I don't know what will happen if we are going to have a big rally. I tend to believe that this will be something like what we saw with Ethereum Classic just before the crash. So Ethereum might go and develop itself into a, let's say, veteran coin. It will be pulled by Bitcoin or pushed down, but with Solana, with Matic, with Elrond, with all the smart contracts coming on, intentionally didn't say Cardano. I think Ethereum will be a bit pushed back into the background for some time. Elrond is doing pretty great. It's at 215 and I think it's between one of the best altcoins or the best performing altcoins in this small dip, and that is something we should all remember when Bitcoin starts to rally, and Elrond will stay in one point, because it seems that Elrond only goes up and shows some strength when Bitcoin is a bit undecisive. Just to give you a reference point, Cardano didn't perform too good. And I think this smart contract did bring a lot of news and a lot of pump, but failing to deliver as the community expected, well, that pushed down the price and it seems that it is staying there. Nevertheless, it's at $2, which is pretty good, I think. Considering the expectations, everybody was waiting Cardano to be at around $5 by now. Nevertheless, I don't say it's a bad project, it's just I don't think that the project delivery lives up to the promises. Beni Mincu was at Scott Melker's. As you know, Scott Melker is the Wolf of Wall Street. He's a very, very known name in the crypto world. They had like a 1-hour interview where Beni Mincu discussed and shared his vision. And it always surprises me how, I don't want to say inspirational, but how forward-looking he is. He's not talking about DEX, he's not talking about Maiar exchange, he's not talking about decentralized finances. He's already talking about a world where we don't have to worry about the bills, about putting petrol in our car, but we have to worry about not to be, let's say, too loosen up and be productive even though we don't need to. Because as he says, when you are free of these small everyday problems, that's where you can get good ideas, and that's where you can save or help everything around yourself. And this is exactly what I also think. I think the day-to-day problems just keep our brains busy, and it's very difficult to come up with good ideas, with new ideas, to be creative when the noise is just cancelling out everything else. So I really enjoyed this conversation. I recommend you to watch it as well. I will link it into the description. So in El Salvador, already 1.6 million people are using Chivo's wallet, and that is a wallet for Bitcoin. So they are using Bitcoin, they are buying, selling, and as you probably remember, Western Union was concerned that they are going to lose $500 million per year, because now they don't need, people don't need Western Union to transfer money from abroad into El Salvador for their relatives, for example. They can just use Chivo wallet and send Bitcoin instead. Now this is exactly what we need, because Western Union is just scalping people's hard-earned money. And this news just sparked an idea. And I said yesterday and before yesterday, I posted some negative, let's not say negative, but not too positive videos about are we in a bear market? The SEC is changing strategy which could have a negative impact on Bitcoin. Evergrande is at bankruptcy, and that could have a big crash effect on the world stock market or on the world market. By the way, that kind of seems solved. I will talk about that at the end of the video. So I just sit down, I try to think, and I try to think to convince myself which scenario I want to believe, or which scenario seems to me more realistic. As you probably know, I don't like to be over optimistic. I rather be pessimistic than optimistic, because I like pleasant surprises better. I have no idea saying that Bitcoin will go down and that just spikes up. That's fine by me. I don't have any problem with that. But I would have a problem if I said that now Bitcoin will push hard, everybody buys, or I buy, and then it dumps. That's I think that's more difficult for me to say. I always like to be a bit conservative about the prices and try to manage or over manage the risks. Now, if you want to consider that we will be in the bear market, right now there are two things which come to my mind. One, we had a big top, we are in a second top, or we were at the second top at 50, and there are some chances that from here we go down. Nevertheless, I think that the going down is just a bit too slow for me. I was expecting a sell-off, I was expecting a lot of profit taking from the big whales, a lot of Bitcoin to be dumped on the exchanges by the miners, which didn't happen. Right now the exchanges Bitcoin flow is very low, meaning that the Bitcoins are stored on hard wallets or hot wallets, but they are not on the exchanges, which is obviously a good sign. And all the professional traders are saying that we are still not at the top. The second one, which is a threatening fact, is that SEC will change its strategy. They want to strengthen the dollar. If they do that, probably the assets, Bitcoin, gold, silver, everything else, will lose some of their value, deflation will be induced, and that will go on for some time, or otherwise, as you want to call it, a bear market. Now, bull market. Why would be in a bull market? First of all, we didn't have that big spike, but we can call the first wave a big one. As we know, every bull market's rally will be smaller and smaller. That's how the assets value stabilizes until it will arrive to a gold's, let's say the gold's volatility. I think that's a couple of decades away. Nevertheless, it could be that this was the spike. Now, if I want to gather evidence for the bull market, this is the one. Institutional investors increased their crypto holdings for 5th straight week. For the last 5 weeks, institutions were buying crypto. And for me, that is the most important thing, because institutions, they don't want to buy crypto when it's expensive and they expect it to be cheaper. If they would expect a 50, 60, 70% drop, I don't think anyone would buy any crypto at all. And for them, it's not really a problem to wait 3 months, 4 months, half a year, even though they might probably expect it by then to be a bear market, but until then, they want to scalp it, they want to make some profits. The next one is the on-chain data. Now, as you can see, this is from 2016, let me get my brush, until today. This was some serious profit taking. These were some serious sell-offs. Obviously, we also had some panic selling in 2019 when the Bitcoin price really dipped. Now this one here, what we see from the last year of March until today, considering that even now, even in the last couple of days, almost 100,000 Bitcoins went out from the exchanges daily, it just doesn't feel right to me to be in a bear market, because I don't think that people would buy these kind of Bitcoins if they would think that we are in a bear market. And these are not the small retail investors, no. These are also the big ones, the whales. So when I consider everything which comes to my mind in a, let's say, in a big picture, obviously we can go more and more details in these evidences. What I feel is that we are in a bull market. I know that we shouldn't trade on our emotions, and I don't want to, but this seems logical to me because we don't see the sell-offs. I want to see some proper sell-offs, some proper Bitcoin inflow to the exchanges to consider that yes, we are in a bear market. Let me know in the comments what you think. I know that some of you already consider this as a bear market, others still wait for another rally. Please consider that we are in September. September is usually a red month for crypto, and let's see what October brings, because yeah, I do think that we will climb back at least to the previous all-time high. I do think that we will climb back to the 60,000s. Things will be interesting then. We will have to move fast and with caution. Obviously, I will make a lot of videos about that. Last news for today, as it was predicted by Scott Melker, the wolf of all streets, China injects $19 billion into Evergrande to bail it out from the bankruptcy. Or obviously, Evergrande being the second biggest retail company in China, it's too big to fail. And if they don't bail them out, I mean the company, it will have a very big negative effect on China's economy, obviously the whole world as well. My only concern was that China would rather let the company shake the world economy than bail them out, but maybe they just made an assessment or maybe an evaluation, and they said that okay, it will hurt us more not to bail them out than giving them this large sum of money. So I'm happy to see that they don't want to destroy the world. Obviously, I would have not been surprised if they would just let him or let the company collapse and take the hundreds of banks and financial firms with him. Anyway, this is a very good news. I like that this is working out. We will see what the SEC will do. And if they take a break, a 1 or 2 months break until they decide what they want to do with their tapering strategy, probably we will have the rally until then. So in summary, I still think that we are in a bull market. I might be wrong. Don't take my advice as financial advice, because it's not. So everybody should decide for themselves. But right now, we are in extreme fear on Bitcoin, on crypto. And for me, this is time to buy. This is all I wanted to talk about today. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked the content. If you did, smash that like button and comment something. If you didn't like it, comment something and we will improve. I mean, I will improve, because this is a one-man show. See you tomorrow.